start off with the ball behind the knuckles of the feet, more or less behind the second and the third toe of the foot. And I want you to try and just drop your heel onto the floor and curving your foot over the ball. So I mean curving the foot, not just your toes. Try and reach your toes towards the floor. Right, so this doesn't mean that you're trying to hold the ball with your toes. You're just trying to create a nice arch in your foot. Then keep your heels down and keep the ball underneath your foot and try and pull your toes up as if you're trying to pull them up towards your shins with your heel down on the ground. And then once again, you're arching your foot over that ball, so you feel the ball pressure down underneath your foot. And then you're drawing your toes up towards you. Remember your knees staying straight. And then once again, just let the toes drop towards the floor and then relax the tension. Now I'd like you to take your foot further back. So you're rolling the ball towards the middle of your foot. And you're going to press down. Now look down at your foot. And what you should see is the knuckles of your toes start to come upwards towards you. And I want you to press down and let your toes kind of relax towards the floor. Hold that position. And now keeping your heel down, so I'm going to do it facing forward. I want you to rock through your ankle so that you're inverting your foot. It's going in towards the inside. And then you're everting, so the foot goes towards the other side. So you're just rocking and you're trying to keep your knee from moving. So not only have you got that curve underneath your foot and your toes aren't trying to hang on to onto the ball, but you're trying to keep your knees nice and steady, so you're actually moving through the ankle joint. And then you bring your foot back to the center. And this time just roll the ball to the middle of your foot, so right into that portion of your foot before the heel and behind the knuckles. All right, now press down. Look at your toes. Watch what happens to your toes. It's quite interesting that sometimes they start to sort of pull upwards. Okay, now rock. And this is side to side. And the ball's really not rolling side to side. It's you dropping your side of your foot on either side of the ball. Just moving through. Just a couple more. And then we're going to take the ball right back in front of the heel. Okay, so your ball will be down. I'm going to put it here. Your ball will be down, and your toe, the balls of your foot will be down. And I want you to press into that portion. Now it's just in front of the heel, not on the heel. And I want you to do the same thing. I want you to rock. Now there can be a very, very sensitive spot somewhere around there. It may not be, but just try and move around that area, just gently rocking. And then take your heel off the ball, or your foot off the ball. Okay, and just roll the ball. So we didn't do this yesterday, but just roll the ball from the front to the back, along the outside edge of the arch. So you're rolling it up the closest bit towards the inside, the inside edge of the arch. Inside edge. Then roll it right up the middle from the back of the toes to the back of the arch, and then up the outside. So anybody who's done class with me before, we know we do this just about every time we do a class. Right, now this is where it gets a little bit more nasty, uncomfortable. I want you to put the ball just in front of the knuckles of your toes. So just there on your toes. And you might need to go down and bend your knees and just go down towards your toes, because I want you to try and separate your toes out a little bit. As if there was a small gap in between your toes. You're going to create one. And you're going to press down and you're going to look at your toes and they're going to be hanging onto the ball a bit like that. And then you're going to lift your heel and I want you to roll so that your toenails go underneath, but you're still grasping the ball. If you can keep your your toenails down and then push your heel down onto the floor, your toes will really stretch. And then rock back. Okay? So just another one more. You're trying to keep a gap so that you're not crunching your toes up. May not work, but you're trying. And then you're rolling so that you get your toenails down and you're stretching your toes. This might be agony. You may not be able to do much more than this. And then try and keep the toes where they are and lower the heel down. So you're stretching the knuckles of your feet, really stretching. And then you release. And you might find your toes doing all kinds of weird things, but just give them a little bit of TLC. Okay, then same foot. Take your ball and place it just in front of the heel so your toes are down on the ground. And you're going to take a step forward with the other leg. You may need a, as I say, you may need a hand hold. And I want you just to push into the ball and then lift your toes and try and roll the ball forward a little bit so that you're really stretching out your foot. Your ball is rolling up the inner side of your foot up towards the top. Trying to pull the toes end of the foot off the floor, just into that position. And then stop. Then you're going to change your position and you're going to put the ball of your foot on, so that's just behind the knuckles of your foot. And press down and take the same step forward. Bend your front knee this time, just reach out into the heel and stretch out your Achilles tendon, the back of your leg. Reaching into the floor, hold, stay there for a couple of seconds, and then you swap your legs over. So, starting off with the ball just behind the knuckles of your feet. I'm going to try and ask you to just think of curving your toes over, so that if you've got long feet, you could touch the floor with your toes. You try not to roll towards the inside, but you're trying to keep that curve heel down. And then I want you to pull your toes up as if they're going to pull up towards your shins. Now this is hard because it's much harder than having your feet on the floor. Your toes won't lift up as high. And then arch the toes over the front and press down. Try and feel your arch lifting. It's sort of a sensation that you're trying to pull the middle of the arch up. And then once again lift the toes with a straight knee. Just pull your toes towards your shins so you're getting that stretch out. And then you're going to just roll the ball back in a minute amount. And we're going to do our little rock. So knee stays still and you're rolling the big toe towards the inside. And then you roll the little toe side towards the outside. Rocking across. Move the ball if you need to. You might find there's if you move your ball a little bit more towards your big toe, you get a lot more sensation. Or if you move it towards the little toe side. Okay, so just one more rock. And then bring your foot back to the center. Okay, then we roll the ball further back. And it's about, I would say, a couple of centimeters further back than it was. And your heel's off the floor this time. And you're still rocking through the ankle joint. Now, I don't know how many of you have ever had an ankle injury where you've either broken it, or maybe you've torn some ligaments, or maybe you've just sprained your ankle, and for some peculiar reason that you may not know, that this ankle doesn't work as well as the other one. So these are the exercises you'd need to do to just get more mobility into your foot. Then take the ball right back to behind the heel. Press down into that position and do a couple more rocks. So you're now rocking so that you're pressing into the flesh, just to the front, inside and outside of where the leg bone comes down into the foot. So just in front of the ankle. There's a lot of tightness in there. And then Give your foot a little bit of a rest. Then you're going to put the ball just in front of the ball of the foot, so just your toes are on it. You're going to try and get that little gap in between your toes, and then your toes are going to wrap over the ball, whatever kind of ball it is, and then roll to try and get the toenails to just either touch the floor or actually curl underneath you if you've got really good range of movement. Then keep your toenails where they are and push your heels down towards the floor. Try and get your heels to the floor if you can. It's really strong. And whoa, you can see my one toe has just almost gone into spasm. Okay, one more. So spread the toes out, roll them. That's it. And then reach into the floor with your heel. Lovely. You give your feet a little bit of TLC again. And then move the ball so that it's behind, actually just behind your heel. We did that one first, just behind, you're in front of your heel rather. And then take a step forward, little step forward. Push out with your heel and try and lift up the front part of your foot. So you're you should feel you're activating the front line of your leg. So if you can see your foot, try not to let your foot roll out. You're trying to do this in a parallel position. And then drop the foot back down. Then step so that you have your ball just behind the knuckles of your foot. And take a step forward with the other leg. Push your heels down, lunge out through the leg with your back heel on the ground, going into that very strong calf stretch, Achilles tendon stretch. Okay, so it's also a bit of a balance exercise. You may need to hold on to something. Hold, and then take your foot off the ball, and then you're going to get rid of your ball. But before you do other exercise, I just want to go, just go for a little walk through your feet and feel the difference in the sort of suppleness of your feet. It's very interesting. And we're going to take a hold of the band now. Okay, so as I said, you're going to fold it double like that. You're going to hold that end and you're going to hold this end. Now what I do is I just slide my hand through that area. I'm going to put that behind my head so that the band is supporting my head like that. And just remember your wrists are straight. Okay, you've got that sense of resistance through your shoulders. Elbows and hands more or less in line. Drop your shoulders. Now, what I'd like you to do is just resist with your arms and push your head back against the band without your back arching. Push back, feel your neck muscles working, and release. So it's not pulling the arms forward, it's just pushing the head back against the band and releasing. I'd like you to do about 6 more of those. So just push back, keep your arms strong, and release. Push back and release. 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't worry, you can catch up later if this is too hard. Right, we're going to have a rest now, so we're going to just lift the band up and stretch our arms. Go for a nice big stretch. Gets tiring. Drop your shoulders, bring the band back to where it was. Right, might come a little closer now. So you're pushing back, your head pushing back against the band. And from here, I want you to drop your chin down towards your throat. Okay, so you're creating all those double chins. And then roll back, so you're looking forward. Right, release the band. Resist with the band, push back with your head, drop your chin down, really drop, 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 feel the back of the neck stretch. Lift the chin, release. 2 more. So push back, pull your chin towards your throat and feel the neck muscles stretching. And release. You're doing that one more time. pull back. You should feel your shoulders working as well. Lift. Now lift your arms up. Stretch. Just lower your arms down for a second. A little roll with your shoulders. Okay, now we're going to add a neck rotation. So you're going to put your head back against that band. Have that support. Push backwards. Now, you're going to turn your head to look towards the right, and I want you to turn your eyes so you're looking at your right hand. Then drop your chin down into your collarbones, so you're looking down into your armpit. Push back into the band. Turn your head to the other side. Okay, look up towards the other hand and lift your head and bring your head back to center. And I want you to see if you can do one more on either side. So turning your head, look at your hand, now look down at your armpit, push back into your band. Turn your head back to the center. Turn the head so you're looking down into the other armpit. Lift your eyes to look to your hand, lift your head, bring your head back. Reach your arms up, that was very strong. Lower your arms down. And now you're going to roll down. Just let your head and neck go. Roll down through your spine. At this point, just take your band and undouble it. You're going to hold one end, one of each ends of your band. So you're going to make it longer, in other words. Roll your spine all the way up. Let your arms drop. Lift your arms up. And pull your band out to stretch your shoulders. So you're reaching out. Once again, your wrists are going to be straight. You're reaching through your fingertips. And then lift your arms up and just lower your arms forward. Very, very simple exercise. So as the arms lift, so the band stretches, and you're not arching your back. You're putting your ribs in and you're bringing your arms back. See if you can bring them lower. Then lift them up. Then bring them forward and lower them down. Let's do that one more time. So we're lifting up, pulling out to open the shoulders and lowering down. Okay, now I want you to keep your arms here. You're going to do a roll down, and when you get to the bottom, you're going to lift your arms up. So I'll do one, you can watch me if you want to. You're rolling down. You're going to lift your arms up. Now don't do anything, don't pull on the band. Pull your arms further forward so that the fingertips are pointing, and then you're rolling up, and as you roll up, pull your band tight. Level with your shoulders. Reach out and lower the arms. Okay, so the arms are behind you. You're rolling down. Just let your arms relax to start off with. Then lift them up behind you. Reach forward a bit more if you can. As you roll up, pull your band outwards till it's level with your shoulders. And reach. And lower the arms down. Last one. Roll down. Lift the arms up. Band nice and slack. Roll up, pulling your band out. It's going to end up just below your armpits. Just below your armpits. Hold that. Now bend your elbows and bring your arms forward. So the elbows are just dropped down into your sides. A little bit of tension on your band. If you've got a yellow band, this is much easier. You can just use one yellow band. Palms face the ceiling. Try and keep the band under your arms, under your armpits, and breathe in and just open the arms, open the chest. Breathe out, bring your little fingers towards each other and palms together. Breathing in to open. Carefully don't arch your backs. Nobody wants to be doing that. You want to keep your back against the band. And then forward. Okay, we've got one more, and we're going to stay out. And we're going to reach out with the band. Now the band is wrapped around my arm, behind my back, and just coming across the top of my palm. Reach out, and you're going to do 6 little circles. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, One other direction. Make sure your arms are straight, please, guys. No bendy elbows. I can see. Bend your elbows and just lower your arms down. Roll your spine down. Lift your arms up, reach up, and just bring your arms right over your head and bring the band forward. Okay, you're going to let go of the band. You're going to roll your spine all the way up, bone by bone. And you're going to bring your head up. And just let your shoulders go. Ready to lie down on your mat. Have your band next to you. I forgot to say, you can, if you need a squidgy ball to help you with some of the exercises, please grab one. Okay, please grab one because you can put your head on it, or you can use it to support you. So lying down on your back, ready to go into a shoulder bridge. Take your band and just drape it so that, you might want to fold it in half first. You're going to drape it so that the middle of the band is over your belly button, or just quite low, but the band is there. And the rest is sort of stretched out. And I'd like you to just press your arms down. Actually, have it where you can put your palms onto the band and press them down. Right? So we're not really using the band very much at the moment, but what I want the sensation to be is that you're using the backs of your arms. You know, you're using that area from the behind the wrist all the way up to the armpit. So you're pressing that down into the floor, and you're going to take a lovely long breath. You're going to breathe in through your nose, and then just breathe out and let your ribs drop down. Been doing a lot of work with our shoulders, so the ribs might be a little bit sticky outy at the moment. Try and relax them. Do that breath in again. And as you breathe out, you're going to curl your tail under you. Feel your lower back pull towards the floor. Don't come up yet, please. Press the backs of your arms into the floor to open out your shoulders. And then uncurl your tail until you feel the tailbone drop back down onto the floor. And then we're going to roll all the way up. So can you also be aware of your feet? Be aware that the toes are on the floor, the heels are on the floor, not just your heels. Just think about them. So curl the tailbone underneath you, roll your spine, and pressing your arms down onto the band so the band does not come off the ground. Roll your hips up, pressing your hips up against that band. You're not holding the band, you're pressing into it. Breathe out to roll your spine down, lengthen out, and bring your tailbone back onto the floor. So you might want to adjust your band, make sure it's underneath your palms. And you're doing that once again. Breathing out, curling up. Toes on the ground, heels on the ground, knees pushing forward. Hips pressing that band upwards. Your arms are working to try and keep your hands down. Roll your spine down. And bring your tailbone down. Right, guys, now what I want you to do is turn your palms to face upwards so the backs of your hands are on the floor, or rather on the band, and you're pressing onto the backs of your hands to keep the band down. So a little different. So you're going to have to roll up and keep your shoulders open. As you roll up, you're pressing the backs of your hands into that band, pressing the backs of your shoulders down, and feel how that keeps your shoulder, makes your shoulders open up a little bit more. Roll your spine down, lengthen out through your tail. Okay, if it's harder, just make fists, curl your fingers in. But try and do that one more time with the backs of the arms against the band, reaching out through your legs, keeping your knees parallel. Bring the band up and roll the spine all the way down. Now this time, hold the band. So make fists, hold the band. Same thing with your fists down on the ground, roll your hips up, press against that band. So you're really having to work your glutes to bring the hips up a little bit higher. Now lift your hands and pull the band out wider so it's in line. The hands are going to be in line with your hips, pulled outwards, not too close. We're in this position with the tension in the band lifted up, and if you can, see if you can reach it to the floor, but keep the pull, keep the tension in the band. Backs of your shoulders are on the ground and the backs of your arms if you can, and then roll your spine all the way down, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way, uncurl your tail. Don't lose the tension. Bring the band back with that tension in it, and then lose the tension. Bring your hands back down and do that one more time. So rolling up, pressing against the band. Keep the hips where they are. Lift your arms and pull out, maybe a little further if you can. Reach back, fingertips reaching, wrists nice and straight. Press back into the backs of your hands. Roll your spine down. See if you can roll down in between your shoulder blades. Imagine them. And then keep the pull on the band. Bring your arms forward and relax. Okay guys, if this is where you may want, some people may want a little bit of support for the head. Otherwise, we're going to do a little curl forward. So I want you to lift your legs up. You're going to put your band over the tops of your shins, and you're going to hold the band so that your arms are parallel with the floor. Okay, and we're going to do the hundreds, pulling on the band, okay, with the arms straight. So just, when I say the hundreds, we're not going to do 100 to start with, we're just going to do 20. So nod your head forward, curl forward. Take your legs out a little bit so that your knees are just above your hips, your legs are at a right angle. Reach with your arms, and we're going to do 20 pulls. So breathing in and out. Now, as you do the pulls, remember you're resisting with your legs, they're not moving, and your body's not moving, just your arms, and then release back and release your head down. Okay, so obviously, you can put your head on a ball if you wish. So once again, curl forward. We're going to do 30 this time, but take your legs a little further away and curl your body forward a little bit more so your shoulder blades come away from the floor. Breathing in and out. And in and out. Your last 10. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and roll your spine all the way down. All right, got another 20 coming up. You're breathing in. As you breathe out, curl forward. Now, lift the legs a little bit and see if you can curl forward, keeping your legs slightly bent and your feet a little higher and your arms reaching for a little bit more, and breathing in. And out. And in. Look at your tummies, everybody. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5. And roll your spine down. So today we did the 70s. We didn't do the hundreds. And we're coming into rolling like a ball. I'd like you to double up your band. I'd like you to put the band around your feet. So if you've got a yellow band, use both yellow bands. And you've got your feet in the double band. So I've got, bottom one loop around my heels, the other loop, just going over my toes. My knees pulled in, and I'm rolling myself up into my balancing position. Okay? So you want to make this quite short. Okay, guys? So just wiggle your hands a little bit closer towards your knees. The nice part about this is you can push your feet against it. Okay, so first of all, just drop your shoulders and have a little sensation while you're in this position of just pushing your feet slightly against that double band. Then curling your tailbone underneath you, so you're in a ball shape, you're looking into your tummy. I want you to roll and keep the pressure into your feet, no more, no less, As you roll back, just be aware of your feet. Push your feet against the band and find your balance. Good. Lovely. Now, Lorraine, I want you to round your back a little bit more. So slump down a little bit more. That's it. Now rock and back. Whoa. Find that balance. Stop when you come to the... We're not rolling and rolling. We're just finding the balance. Good. One more. Rock back. Find your balance. Now, I want you to hold your feet. As if you're holding your feet in a sling. Pull your shoulders down. I want you to sit up tall. Sit, sit, sit. Really tall on your sit bones. Now find that curve again. And roll. And back. And sit up tall. So you're demanding a little bit more control. Can you find the sit? Upright. Last curve. Curve back. Roll. Find your balance. Restack your spine. And then just lower your heels down onto the ground. Take your band. Undouble it. If you've got yellow bands, you want them both now, and put them around the base of your feet. Right, so you're stretching your legs out into the band. Now the thing about a band is that you just want your toes coming over the top. You kind of want the ball of your feet to be in the band so that you can do, in ballet they call this a demi-point. You're actually pointing the balls of your feet rather than your toes. So you're stretching out through the balls of the feet, although the toes look as if they're facing towards you. It's the same position you'd have in a pair of high-heeled shoes. So reach into the band with the balls of the feet and squeeze your legs together. And on an exhale, with your arms straight, just roll back off your sit bone. So we're doing a half roll back. We're not going the whole way down. Good. Now stay there, put in your tummy, and reach the feet into the band, as if you're trying to push that band away a little bit further. And then try and keep yourself exactly where you are on your pelvis, but pull in your middle tummy and try and curve your shoulders forward more. So you're forming a big curve in your back. Then roll onto your sit bones and restack your spine. Lovely. Good. Let's do that again. So initiate with the feet. Push out with your feet. Curl back. Now remember, your back's always rounded when you do this exercise. It's not flat. So we've got to make it a little bit more rounded. We're going to stay on the back of our pelvis wherever we've got to. We're going to pull in the middle tummy and we're going to try and bring our shoulders forward. We want to round a little bit more. And then we're going to roll forward and restack our spines. Good. Now just roll all the way back, reaching out all the way down onto the ground for your proper roller. Bring your head down last. Bring your head forward. Once your head's forward, please think of pushing into the band. Roll forward. Restack. One more. So breathe out. Be very careful not to keep pulling on the band with your elbows out. You want to keep your arms by your sides more or less. And then head forward. Scoop in the tummy. And bring yourself up. Okay? Well done. Take your left or the foot closest to the screen, take it out of the band, and have your legs a little bit more apart. Hover the other leg off the floor and roll down, bringing that leg up towards the ceiling. Now, pull the leg towards you. Really stretch out your hamstring. Press this leg into the floor. It's a little out at an angle, and you're going to start your leg circles by bringing your leg forward and across the other leg. So bring it across. Now stop here, guys. Dig your elbows in and turn your head to the opposite side to the way your leg's going. Look over the opposite shoulder. Circle the leg down. As the leg goes out to the opposite side, turn your head. So you're actually spiraling your body. You're turning the head and neck to look to the opposite side to the way the leg's going. And then you're turning your head and neck again. And turn, dig your elbows in, and back to center. Let's do the other side. So out to the side, head turns away from your leg. Across, head turns away from your leg. And 2, I'm really wringing the juice out of this stretch. And turn. Be very conscious of what your spine's doing. And then bring the head back to center. Good. Now please keep that leg down on the ground. Bend this knee. Walk your hands up a little further. Nod your head forward. And I want you to push your leg away from you. And roll yourself up into a sitting position. And lower your leg down. Alright, swap legs. Other leg comes into the band. Remember you're doing that sort of demi-point. Legs in this little V. Press one leg down, lift the leg up as you roll your spine down. So your leg's coming right up to the ceiling and then it's going right up towards you, towards your face maybe. And then we're going to circle, so the leg goes away from you. Turn your head in the opposite direction to your leg. You're circling and turning the head away. For 2. For 3. For 4. Try and roll off your hip, please. And other direction. So as you take your leg out, the other leg helps to balance. As you take your head across, your leg across, your hip comes away from the ground. And turn. Good, you've only got one more. Good, bring your leg up. Right, we're going to make the bands a little bit shorter. I'm going to push out your leg, try and keep it there, and roll your spine up. Bring yourself all the way up. Beautiful. Lower your leg down. Swap the feet over again. Right, so bringing your leg into the band, I want you to try and hold your leg up in that position. So some of you may want to have it quite low. Please don't bring it too high. You want it about a 45-degree angle from the floor. You've got to push with your leg and you've got to pull with your arms. So as you pull your arms, see if you can sit up really tall on your sitting bones and still keep the leg as it is. I'm pulling my elbows out as if I've got, trying to stop a charging horse. Then, keeping the leg there, slowly roll your spine down and bring your head down. The leg has not moved. And then nod your head forward and roll your spine up and keep the leg there. Dig deep, dig deep, dig deep, dig deep. Put a cushion or a towel behind you if you need to. Once again, curl. Now, the more you press this other leg into the floor and squeeze your glutes, the easier it's going to be. It's not easy, but it will be a little bit easier. Nod your head forward, roll your spine up, find that upright position, and then lower your leg onto the floor. So bring the other leg into the band, separate your legs, bring your leg up to the 45-degree angle. If you need to bend your knee, please do, but the more tension you've got, the easier it gets. Breathe out, roll down, keep pushing your leg into the band. Push, 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 push. Then pushing the leg into the band, roll your spine up. I want you to imagine that heel is resting against a wall. And again, breathe out, roll your spine down. And now nod your head forward and come all the way up. Okay guys, if you want to go for the big one, put your foot down, put both feet in. Okay, if you don't want to, just watch. Push your legs out, roll your spine down. Roll back up, keep the legs where they are, don't drop them too low and try not to let them move at all. Now, Lift up, look tall. Breathe out, keep your legs there. Roll down. Pay out your arms. Tuck your tail under you, bring your lower back onto the floor. Okay, one more. All the way up. Push against your band. Pull against your arms. Lift up. Bend your knees. And just place your feet down onto the ground. Right, we're going to go over into our mermaid position now. So we need a little bit of a stretch out. Okay, so we're going to use the band. If you just have it ready in front of you, remember you could put a prop under your knee if you want to. You can sit on a block. You can make it easier for yourselves. So let's just get the movement going. So the movement of a mermaid comes from just above your hip. The hips don't do anything. You're going to go over, putting your hand down, bending your elbow, reaching over and thinking about this chest wall stretching. Then you push yourself back up, and I want you just to put your hand against your shin on the other side and pull yourself over into a counter stretch. Alright, so that is your work. Now the only difference is we're going to do that all in reverse and we're going to use a band. So make sure your band's not too short. You're going to hold the band in that hand and you're going to bring your arm over your head. Alright, so this elbow here is bending. You want the elbow sort of tucked over your ear. So if you bend your elbow, just have no tension in your band initially. Now can you try and sit on both sit bones? So you're not already leading. You're kind of square through your hips if possible. And the bottom arm is straight. Then you're going to pull the band up and reach it up towards the ceiling. So this arm is straight, you're sitting as square as possible, and you're kind of sitting on your sit bones. Don't arch your back. Good, pull up. Now sit up tall and bring both arms up. Then keep this position upright, pull the other arm down towards the floor, bend that elbow, and once again, so you're leaning over into this side now. Now I want you to straighten this arm. Reach up, stretch, a little bit of a pull, it's not too tight, and then see if you can bring your arms up again. Good. Now, keep your body upright and just move your arms. Reach for the floor, then over, bend your elbow, and breathe in. So this is going to be working. Breathe into that side, breathe out, keep the position and lift up through the arms. You reach into the ceiling and then up through your body, over to the other side. Bend your elbow, see if you can go a little further over to that side. When you're over a little bit further, bring your arm up, reach, bring the arms back and lower them down. Super, super stretched, quite busy, quite strong. Send your legs over into the other position. If you can do this position, if it's too strong, obviously just send straight legs forward is also good. So, have your hand down, your elbow bent. Check the length of your band. It's up to you how tight you make it. And then reach up. Let's try to go right up in line with your shoulder. And then use your tummy and bring yourself back. Then keep your body upright and do like a windmill. The arms coming over. Then a side bend. Breathe in as you pull. Breathe out as you center. Body stays still, arms move. Hand down. Bend the elbow. Last one. Pull up. Engage the tummy. Bring yourself back. Windmill over. And bend your elbow. And last one, we just come right back up to center. Bring your arms down and lower them down onto the floor. Well done. Just give your shoulders a wee bit of a roll. Okay, so come onto your fronts now. going to have the band on your mat so that you're going to lie on it, so that you're just lying on it with the on the front of the bra strap line. You want to be able to keep your body down on that mat, on that band, to keep it pinned down. Your legs out in a little V. Your arms are going to be holding the band and reach them back. Your forehead is just hovering off the ground. Now from here, press your legs down into the floor and lift up your arms just high enough so that they're either in line with your body or just off the ground. And don't make your band too loose. It's got to be a little bit of tension in it. Now your body is keeping the band pinned down, so you've got to really focus on keeping it where it is. But at the same time, you're pressing forward with your breastbone. Okay, so you've still got that teeny weeny arch of your shoulders. From here, keep the body where it is. Pull your arms up. And now pressing that bra strap line down. Hold, wrists straight, guys. Lower your arms down. And again, slide the shoulders down. Lift up, pull the band and reach. And lower down. And you're coming up one more time and you're keeping that pull up, and you're going to do 6 circles, but I want the circles to go up. 2, 3, very small. 4, and last one, other direction. So 1, 2, 3, pull up. 5, 6, and lower your arms down. And just let your head relax. Give yourself a little bit of a wiggle through your spine. Lift the head and neck again. Okay, so this time we're going to lift our elbows up so that we've got no tension in the band, but I want you to try and squeeze your elbows towards each other. Okay, you don't want your elbows kind of flipping outwards. You want to try and bring them up so that they reach upwards as much as possible. And they're going to stay there. And you are going to keep them there, and I want you to pull on the band and try and bring your wrists up in line with your elbows. Then keep pushing the elbows to the ceiling as you bend again. Okay, try and do 4 more. So reach and bend. Really getting into your triceps. And reach. Now make sure your elbows don't wander out to the sides. And 2 more. Keep squeezing them towards each other. And last one. And lower your arms down. And just have a little bit of a rest. Let go of your band. Lift up your head and shrug your shoulders towards your ears. Roll your shoulders back and come up further. So you're coming up into a bigger extension. You're still not collapsing your lower back. Your tummy's pulled in. And then you're going to roll your spine down. Okay, so we're going to add to that. We're going to shrug the shoulders, roll the spine up, reach away with the fingertips. Okay, from here, turn your palms downwards, and keeping your position through your body, take your arms out, bring them back, so your arms come to shoulder level, turn your palms up, and lower the whole shape back down. Once again, shrug your shoulders and roll them back and lift. Turn your palms downwards as you breathe in, bring your arms out. Now see if you can bring them forward. Then bring them back. Bringing them back, you're going to turn your palms upwards and you're going to lower your body down. We do that one more time. So head and neck lift, roll, reach back, turn the palms the other way, bring your arms. If you can only bring them to here, that's fine. But if you want to try and bring them forward, you may want to drop down a little bit and then bring them back. As you bring them back, you're going to lift, turn your palms upwards and lower your body all the way down onto the floor. Bringing your hands forward now. Just sit back against your heels. Take your bottom backwards. And just give yourself time to release your back. So anybody who needs knee supports now or little cushions might want to go get them. So just a little bit of a wiggle. Okay. Right. Normal cat to start off with. You're just having your hands and knees in alignment. Curl your tailbone underneath you, round up through your back. Press your shins down, everybody, and then reach out through your tail. Send your tailbone away. Okay, can we do that again? So breathe out as you round your back up. And breathe in as you reach out through your tail. Okay, so it's obviously not going to stay that simple. It does get a little bit complicated is what we're going to do with the band. So I would like you, and if you watch what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the band first over the top of my foot, then I'm going to wrap it around my foot like that. Alright, so that I've got two handles and my foot's got like a little shoe on. It's not going to come out of there. Okay, then I'm going to hold tight. I'm making two fists. This knee is going to come in a little further than normal. Alright, so make sure your band doesn't come off and make sure it's nicely tight wrapped around your foot. Alright, now from here I want you to push out with your leg. So, use your hands for support and reach. And then bend your knee, and as your knee comes in, I want your back to round. So you're leaning back. Lean back against the bands. Then push against the bands, uncurl your back, lift your head, lift your chest, and push out with your leg. Try and get to full leg straightness. Inhale. You will be leaning to one side slightly. That is absolutely fine. You're putting a little bit more weight on one side. Reach out, hold that position. Now, bend your knee up and push your leg out. Make sure you've got that wrap of your foot in the band. Knee and reach. Two more. Keep the knee high and reach. Last one. Reach out, bend your knee in. Just round your back. Don't let go too quickly. And just sit backwards. It's a truly horrible exercise. But anyway, we're off again. I'm going to do the other side. So, wrapping the foot in the band, just to make sure you've got enough. It's a good thing to have slightly sticky feet when you do this one as well. Okay, I'll turn around. Made your fists, you've got your band, whether it's pink or yellow, doesn't really matter. Right, knee comes in towards you. Lean back a bit. Then start to bring your weight forward, lift your head, push out and look forward. And then bend. Hopefully no one's band is going to break. And reach, push out, push out, push out, push out to straight completely in your leg. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Last one. When your leg stays out this time, push out. Okay, now try and bend the knee. You're going to feel the band coming up between your legs. And then try and straighten and bend. And straighten and bend. Try and keep the knee high. Reach and bend. Last one. Reach out. Then bend your knee in towards you. Bring it down. Just let go of the band. Sit back. Give your hips a little bit of a wiggle. Oh, well done. And then we're finishing off the leg work on our backs. So, once again, you can have a cushion behind your head, or if you're really sensitive and your hamstrings are very tight, you can put the cushion behind your bottom. Okay, so you can have that either way. So, nice rest on your back. Lift up your legs. And what I'm going to do, once again, is I'm going to cross the band so that it comes one end in each hand. And I'm going to have it over the balls of my feet. And I'm going to mimic what we do on the Pilates equipment. I'm going to do a bit of leg footwork. So you're going to hold the ends of your band, pull your knees really tight in, and push the backs of your arms onto the floor. So your elbows never leave the floor. Your lower back is pressing into the mat, or if you want a little cushion behind your lower back, that's also okay. And as much as you can, the sides of your feet are gripping or together. It's flat feet. Good. Now pull your tummy tight, and as you push out with your legs, I want you to keep your lower back on the floor. Don't lower your legs too low. And pull the tummy in and really try and stretch your legs out away from you a little bit more. Breathe in, bring them back. Breathe out, push them out. Breathe in, bring them back. Now, your legs are not going up to the ceiling. Just stop a second, everybody. If you lifted your head, they wouldn't be parallel to the ground, but they'd be about 45 degrees. If your back is aching, please bring them up higher. Okay, so you're challenging yourself. 2 more. Pump out. Slowly back. As if you're pushing something underneath your feet. You've got to push away. And then bring your knees in. Right, keep the position, but look at your feet. Pull your toes apart, your feet apart, until you've got a V shape, a ballet position number 1 in your feet. And your heels are together, and your knees are apart, and you're like a little frog. And as you push out, your heels stay together and your knees straighten. Breathe in. Come back. Breathe out. Push out. Hold. See if you can push further. Inhale back. Exhale. Reach. Pull the tummy down. Inhale back. Last 3. Push out. Last 2. Good. Last 1. Reach. Bring your legs back. Bring your feet back to parallel. Lift your, now push out until your legs are more or less at a right angle. Then lift the soles of your feet up so that they come up to the ceiling. See if you can pull your legs towards you a little bit more. Now from here, I want you to lower your legs until they're a little bit lower. Challenge, challenge, challenge through your tummy. And at the last minute, bend your knees and bring your legs back and reach the soles of your feet up to the ceiling. So we're going into the double-legged bicycle. So down, pull back, lift, and down. Hold the band tight. Breathe in, lift up. Last 1, down, bend, and lift. Now reverse that, knees bend. From here, this is the challenge. You're going to try and hold your back on the floor and push your legs lower than normal, and then up. And 3 more. Push out, reach, swing up. Last 2. Swing up. Last 1. Reach. Bring your legs up. Just go into a little hamstring stretch here. See if you can push the heels away from you. Pull your toes towards you. Try and keep the backs of your legs as straight as you can. Try and bring your toes towards your nose. Reach up and then take 1 foot at a time out of your band. Put your band down. Roll yourselves over onto your sides. You're coming up into your standing position to regroup. Okay, so you've had your tip to toe workout. Work through the neck, work through the feet, work through the wrists, the backs of the arms. So be conscious that hopefully you've straightened out a few little kinks in your body. And when you roll down now, just let go. Don't do anything, just let your body drop. Might feel very heavy, just go down towards the floor. Hang in that position. Can you try and take your weight further forward, please? See if you can send your sit bones up a little higher towards the ceiling. And then soften your knees and roll your spines up. And drop your shoulders